Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a different type of plan with me. We're actually going to be doing basically a bullet journal style spread in this dot grid notebook that I have from Paper Ideas. I'll link this down below if I can find the exact one. But as you can see, this notebook is getting pretty chunky, and that's because I've been using it on and off for about a year now to do some basic bullet journal spreads, and I thought it would be fun to film one on camera today. So I mostly use these spreads just for pre-planning work stuff. I occasionally put in some non-work stuff, but this just works super well as a base for my week. I've been enjoying this more than my passion planner lately, and I think it's just because my passion planner is too big for me. I should have gotten a smaller size, but the size of this notebook works really well. So off to the side here, I've got a bunch of stuff to show y'all. First up, I have my notes about what I'm going to plan, and this is just a weekly planning notebook from Bloom Daily Planners. I'll link them down below as well, along with any other products or shops I mention. So I'll be referencing this throughout the video. And then I'm going to be using some stickers from this Stickabilities Fairy Tale Cottagecore sticker pack. I picked this up a couple years ago. I don't know if it's still available, but if I can find it online anywhere, I will link it. And then I also made myself these little clear date scripts, which I am considering bringing to the shop. I'll talk more about that later, but I have several different ones here. I'll pick one of those to use in a minute. I also have this pumpkin washi tape, which is from Hobby Lobby. And then for my pen, I'm going to be using a Pentel Intergel needlepoint in 0.35. A very fine tip pen. I really like it. It's great for this notebook. And I also have two brush pens. I have a Stabilo brush pen and then a Tombow dual tip brush pen. So with that out of the way, we can get started. I do have a way that I like to format these weeks. So on the left is going to be a weekly spread, and on the right I'll make some different to-do lists, meal plans, stuff like that. So I usually start off by taking this ruler and I make a little line indentation from the left about that far in, about 5 dots in. And then I just go down 6 dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and do the same thing again. And I'll continue that all the way to the bottom of the page, except I don't do separate lines for the weekend. I mean, for Saturday and Sunday, I just combine them into one weekend because, again, this is mostly for work, so I don't typically work on the weekends if I can help it. So I don't need as much space. Since I don't normally film this type of content on my channel, I'm very curious to see what y'all think of it. I hope you'll enjoy it, and if you'd like to see more videos in my bullet journal later on, just let me know. Alright, so that's done. Next, I'm going to put down my date scripts. I have several different ones to choose from. I think I'm leaning more towards either this one or one of the more scripty scripts. Let's go with the scripty scripts. So why am I considering bringing these to the shop? Well, in a recent plan with me, I used some custom scripts that I had made for myself a long time ago and forgotten about, but I found them in my sticker binder, so I decided to use them up, and I really liked it. So it got me thinking, maybe I should bring scripts back to the shop because I used to offer custom scripts back in the day, if anyone remembers those. And I did like offering them, but they were really problematic for me because, first of all, they're always custom, so I had to make them to order every time, and that's just very time consuming and could really slow down order processing, especially during big sales and stuff. So that was an issue, and then a lot of times people would forget to leave notes about what they wanted, so I'd have to contact them and wait for them to get back to me, which again interferes with order processing time and just different stuff like that. So I was thinking maybe I could bring scripts back, just not fully customized. So for example, a lot of the time people would ask for the same word or phrase, like work was really popular, or read and stuff like that. So I could just make those as scripts and sell those if anyone is interested. And then other things like dates, days of the week. I know I personally write those every time I do a bullet journal spread, so I decided to make myself some scripts instead of always having to write it in. And what I'm going to do now is just continue this line past the day of the week over to the side of the page, just as a divider between the days. So yes, basically I'm debating bringing scripts back to the shop, not custom exactly, but just some popular phrases to see how they sell. And I'll probably do that before Black Friday because if they sell well, I want to have them prepared for Black Friday. So I'm planning to run a Halloween sale at the end of the month. There's a little hint for y'all who watch my videos. We'll have a couple different new releases during that sale, including the scripts, so if you're interested in trying those out, definitely keep your eye out for the Halloween sale. As usual, I'll email out about it, I'll post about it on Instagram, and so forth. And if there's any script you would specifically like me to include, please let me know and I'll try to work that out for you. Okay, that's done. So what I would do next is write in the dates over on the side, and I don't do anything fancy. I literally just write the date like this. I could probably make date dots as well if I'm going to do scripts again. And by the way, these scripts are on clear paper. The ones in the shop will probably be on white paper unless I hear from y'all that you would prefer clear paper. I also really like these because they're on the mini sheets. They're so cute. The mini sheets would of course mean that they're a little bit cheaper, but clear paper is pretty expensive, so I don't know how much of a discount they would actually have for the small sheet. I'd have to work the price up before I listed them, of course. Okay, so our dates are down. Next, I'm going to put down some washi. It feels so weird to be filming this on camera because I've never filmed one of these spreads before that I can remember. I know I've shown them a little bit on my Instagram, but usually I just plan this off camera really fast for myself. And as a result of that, these are not always the prettiest spreads, but this one I'm gonna try and make look really nice. All right, washi is down. And then I just take my ruler and start doing my right-hand page. So I draw a line down the middle of the page, or, you know, roughly down the middle. I don't count exactly or anything. Just down the middle of the page. And then I'm going to divide it into 4 sections. So I'll have my weekly to-do, my meal plan next week, and then this section is for like really important stuff during the whatever week I'm planning. So this week is going to be Halloween sale stuff since the Halloween sale is upcoming. So I'm going to make this section pretty large because I usually have a lot of weekly to-dos. And then up in the top right, my meal planning section obviously only needs 7 slots. So I'll put that right there. Okay, and then before we go any further, I want to put down some deco. So I'm going to grab my sticker book. And the stickers in here, they have a central theme, but they're not exactly color coordinated. So I'm just going to go through the pages and see if anything really speaks to me. I like all of these up here in the top right. And then these mushrooms are nice. Oh, I really like this pumpkin house down here. I'm definitely going to put that down. Let's put it on the weekend because it's a bit of a bigger sticker, like that. And then what else? There's another pumpkin house. That one's really cute too. I like the squirrel. Oh, I really like the fox. Oh, another pumpkin. Okay, I think I'm going to take the fox and put him over here on the bottom right section, just like that. And then what else do I want to use? There's quite a lot of nice fall stickers. I think I'll take the squirrel from down here and put him up on the top of the spread like this. And then I'll go back and grab some of these smaller stickers. I'll take the mushroom. These are on clear paper as well. I'm gonna put that right there. And then I'm gonna grab an acorn. I know I saw some acorns. Yep, there's one. Yeah, the sticker book is falling apart. Like I said, I've had it for quite a while. Put an acorn right there. And then maybe a little beetle. It's pretty cute. And then I think I'll also add these mushrooms right here, maybe. Okay. I think I like that. I might want one more sticker either on Tuesday or Thursday. Let's see. The feather, maybe? Or maybe the butterfly. I know it's not super fallish, but I like the colors. So let's put the butterfly right here and see what we think. Oh, I think we like it. Yeah, okay. It's looking good so far. So the next thing I'm going to do is just start setting up my sidebar. I'm going to grab my Tombow and just make some color swatches as headers. All right, and that is number 977, by the way, in case anyone was curious what color that was. So this top section is going to be for a weekly to-do list. And then this is for my meal plan. This down here is for the Halloween sale. In addition to a discount and new releases, I think we're also going to have an extra freebie or two going out during that sale. And this is for next week. Okay, I'll fill that in later. Now we're going to start doing the left-hand side of the page. So this week is a little bit busier than normal in my planner because the World Artistic Gymnastics Championships are happening, and I just want to make sure I don't forget to watch any of that because I love gymnastics. So I'm going to be marking those championships in here as well. I'll start marking those on Tuesday. So on Monday, I need to mark that at noon I have a video going up on my BookTube channel. So again, I'm going to use the Tombow for that. And then I'm going to take this little stencil that I have. I got it from Jet Pens. I don't know what the brand is or anything, but I'll link it down below. And I'm just going to use the little square up here to make a checkbox. And then I'll just write in the time and what's happening. So noon, it's a book thrifting video. And I'm not going to write the whole title because I know what it is. So that's marked. I just always mark videos when they go live, so I know to go and check and make sure they got uploaded with no problems. And now I can start marking my actual daily to-do list. So on this day, I need 4 little squares, or as of right now, I do. I tend to go through and add stuff as the week goes on. But for now, I'm going to have 4 squares. I'm going to put one over here. Okay. So first up, I need to do my workout. And then I want to reply to comments, emails, and messages. I always try to do that first thing on Monday. Next up, I want to do some designing. And I'm also planning to edit this video on Monday. All right, so that is Monday. I'm actually gonna add video right here. Okay, so that's Monday. As for Tuesday, the first thing I'm gonna mark is gymnastics related. So at 10 a.m., I'm not gonna check this off because I don't have to actually do anything. I just have to watch it. But at 10 a.m., it's the women's artistic gymnastics qualifiers. And then I can put my own checklist stuff in. And I need 4 again for this day. As usual, first up is my workout. Followed by printing and cutting stock. I also need to do my weekly budget. And I also need to wash my hair. Okay, then Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. we have the men's artistic gymnastics all-around competition, which I am super excited to watch because I think one of the Team USA guys, Asher Hong, I think he has a really good chance of medaling, maybe even taking the gold. So super excited to watch this competition. And I also need to put down another time swatch, if you will, because at 5 p.m. a donut food truck is coming to the rental complex that I live in, and we're getting free donuts. So I want to make sure I go over to the clubhouse, get some donuts, hang out with the neighbors, all that stuff. Okay, now we can do the checklist, and I only need 2 for this day. Okay, and then Thursday, I need 2 time swatches again because at 6 p.m. I have a video going live on this channel, and then at 6:30 we have the women's all-around competition. So I'm actually going to do it like this, right beside one another. And I need to check to make sure this video goes live so it gets a check mark, or check box rather. Okay, and then my Thursday checklist, I need 4 checks. No, wait, 3. I only need 3. So I want to film a couple of Plan With Me videos. And then I also want to edit and upload at least 1. And I also want to start filming a reading vlog for my BookTube channel. All right, Friday, I have to mark gymnastics first. So at 2 p.m., we have a lot going on. We have the men's floor exercise, pommel horse, and still rings, plus the women's vault and uneven bars. And then I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 check boxes on Friday. Probably do 3 on one side and 3 on the other. So I need to clean and vacuum. I also need to do any leftover sidebar tasks. Set up my next week's spreads in all my planners and journals. record my Instagram and YouTube stats just to see how I did during the week, fill any open orders, and I always take a bubble bath on Friday nights, and this night I also need to wash my hair. Okay, now for the weekend. So at 2 p.m. on Saturday, we've got the last day of the Gymnastics World Championships. So we have the rest of the men's events, which are going to be vault, parallel bars, and high bar, plus the women's, need a little bit more space. Okay, there we go. Balance beam and floor exercise. All right, and then that takes care of all the gymnastics stuff for the week. And then I also need to wash my bedding over the weekend at some point. Okay, I think that's it for this side of the planner. Now going over here, this is where I keep a general to-do list for the week. And what I'll do throughout the week is just move stuff over here as I decide to do it. This is mostly stuff that doesn't have a deadline. It just needs to get done sometime during this week. So first up, I need to edit a little free library vlog that I recently did. That is, of course, also for my BookTube channel. I also have some happy mail coming. So I have a letter from my pen pal. And then an Amazon package. And I mark this because I don't check my mail every day, so I need to remind myself to check it a couple times during the week for these packages. I also want to read Dracula. That's on my TBR, and I keep not reading it, so I want to hopefully read it next week. I also want to film a design with me for a new set of Bible journaling stickers that I want to put up. And then I need to do Halloween sale prep, like graphics and stuff. And then I also want to look into getting a backsplash for our kitchen. And as you can see, I've got plenty of space to add stuff later on if stuff comes up during the week. Now for meals, I already have these all scheduled out. So on Monday, we're going to have pizza and salad. On Tuesday, we're having sloppy joes. And we're also having that on Wednesday. You'll notice we eat a lot of leftovers or a lot of meals twice in a row. That's just because Ashley and I live alone, and normally it's just us for dinner if we don't have any guests over. And since most recipes make 4 servings, we get to eat stuff twice, so it's pretty helpful. On Thursday, we're having chicken pot pie. And also on Friday. And then Saturday, we're having smothered burritos. And the leftovers will be consumed on Sunday. So that is that. And I don't really like how there's a bunch of empty space on the side here. So I'm going to see if I can find a sticker to fill that up from my sticker book. I might use this feather or that feather. Yeah, I think I like this feather. Okay, I like that. That's better. Moving down here in the next week section, I know I have a couple bills I need to pay, and then the Halloween sale is actually happening the next week in relation to this week. All right. And now this section, so this is my section of important information in regards to the Halloween sale. So I'm going to note the dates first of all, just to remind myself. So it's going to be the 30th of October to the 2nd of November. It's going to be a 20% discount. And then the freebies, we're going to have our standard shop freebie. I also designed a Wacky Holiday Winston's sampler that will be going out during this sale. I used to do Wacky Holiday sheets like for 1 month at a time, and they were fun, but they didn't sell well, so I stopped doing them, but I kind of want to do them again. So I'm sending them out as a freebie during this sale. Please, if you get one, let me know your feedback. Even if you don't get one, if you just want to tell me what you think of the idea, I'm open to that as well. And then I might do some sort of clear paper deco because I want to boost our clear paper sales because we have a lot of clear stuff in the shop, but we don't sell as much of it as I would like, so I'll put that down. This will also be the last chance to grab retiring items. So I just want to remind everyone of that at least once during the sale. And then I need to format script sheets if I'm going to release those and which ones. Gotta decide on that as well. And then I had an idea for a productive Winston that I wanted to sketch and see if I can turn it into a sticker. So I think that's gonna do it for this spread. As usual, I will straighten up and zoom you out. Well, actually, I don't have to zoom you out because I didn't zoom you in. That's very convenient. All right, so here is my bullet journal spread for next week, all pre-planned. Of course, by the time you're seeing this, we're already into the week. So I hope you guys liked seeing me put this spread together. It's of course not what I usually do, but I'm excited to hear your feedback. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye!